At our recent People Behind Brands Business Summit on Monday 14th of July 2025, I sat down with Dean Franklin, the proprietor of ADL Air Conditioning and the winner of the BBC and Lord Sugar's The Apprentice 2025, where he received a £250,000 investment into his growing business empire. Throughout the onstage interview, we discussed his overall journey into his life and work. Dean isn't just a TV champion. He's a driven entrepreneur with real-world insights on leadership, resilience, and what it really takes to build a business from the ground up. Dean brings the kind of honesty and clarity that every ambitious business person can learn from. So let's dive into the conversation and the full interview with Dean Franklin. Okay, so we'll start off with the journey to The Apprentice. So Dean, first off, massive congratulations, obviously. What made you apply for The Apprentice in the first place?
So I've always been a fan of the show, always sat at home, loved it, always watched it. And I'm one of these people. I think I can do everything. And I've always watched it and thought, I could do better. So I signed up, and believe it or not, I signed up the year before. And on the morning of the auditions, I woke up and I was ill, really ill. But I dragged myself to the auditions and I didn't make it through the first round. So the next year, I thought I owe it to myself to give it 100%. So I signed up again and then I just got through, and we all know the outcome.
Yeah, rest is history. So take us back to the very beginning. How did ADL Air Conditioning start? And for those that might not be aware, what does your company specialise in?
So we specialise in domestic installations of air conditioning, and me and my business partner Alex, even little ladies, just come down here. So we started the company because we was just doing private work. That's how it originally started. We was both working for companies, started doing private work, and then we was getting busier out of work and earning more money out of work than we was in work. So it just become a no-brainer for us, really. And then lockdown hit, and that was mega hot. Everyone's working from home, and we took the jump and made it, just made it happen.
Yeah. So tradespeople often don't see themselves on shows like The Apprentice when you think about past winners or contestants. So did you feel underestimated at all going into the process?
Yeah, definitely. I think my background is not corporate. You know, I go into people's houses working on building sites. So I was chucked in at the deep end, and it was different for me. But I think that gives me the edge. You know, I'm a bit more down to earth than some of the corporate contestants on the show. And I think a lot of people like that. And it was good.
Good. So what was the biggest surprise for you behind the scenes of the show?
The wake-up calls. You know, you weren't allowed to know the time. So I don't know if people know that. You don't know no time, and they just wake you up, and you just got to get ready. You get 20 minutes to get out of the room. And that was a big shock. But I think what I did struggle with most was being away from my family. You know, it's intense, and you only get one phone call, and it's for 10 minutes. You've got someone else in the room with you, and you can't talk about nothing that you've done. You can only talk about what they're doing at home. And my wife, she struggled. She had the kids. She was home alone with 2 kids. And it was for like 2.5 months as well. So it's a really long time. To be away from family for that long time.
Yeah, it's definitely
hard.
Yeah. So, life in the boardroom. So, you survived weeks of intense tasks and boardroom dramas. So, what was the hardest task for you personally doing?
The hardest task for me personally was the women's fashion. I don't know nothing about women's fashion. So, I really did struggle with that. But I had the 2 girls with me, and they smashed it. They were really good. And then I just done the sales. I've done really good at the sales. I think I sold the most. So it was good in the end.
Yeah. And what were your favourite tasks?
Favourite task was episode 3, where I was PM, and that's the discount buy-in. Yeah. So you're running around, you're finding all these random objects, and you've got to haggle. And that's right up my street. So I've done really well at that.
Yeah. So those that have watched the show over the years, we know Lord Sugar doesn't hold back in what he says and thinks. So what do you think was your most nerve-wracking boardroom moment?
Probably the first one. The first boardroom, we went to Austria, and I knew I didn't make any sales. So I knew I was getting dragged back. And then it was brand new to me, you know. It was like the second time I've been in a boardroom, and it was so intense. And I knew I was under it, and I've done all right to get out. I made it through.
Do you think there was a point where you thought that you might get fired?
There was a few. The first episode, I could have gone, and the mobile banking app, I messed up.
Yeah. So the business and the brand. So let's talk about ADL Air Conditioning. What sets your business apart from others in the industry?
I just think we are really, really good at what we do. You know, we specialise in domestic installations for a reason. We're the best at what we do, and I actually believe that. I've got a really good team of engineers which we've trained to install to our standards, and I think that goes a long way.
Yeah. So a lot of people might see air conditioning as a seasonal service. So how do you handle that challenge year round?
So air conditioning actually does heating as well, and it is so energy efficient that people are actually having it installed now for heating alone. It's A++ rated, so I don't know, everyone sort of warms their house up with normal radiators and they're paying a fortune, especially with the gas prices now. You can switch to air conditioning and you can save a lot of money. It's actually an investment. You'll see your return on the installation cost.
Yeah. So now that Lord Sugar is on board, how is the business evolving? Do you think there's going to be any changes to strategy or expansion?
Expansion, I think we've probably quadrupled since the show. So we've got now 7 vans, we've got about 12 engineers, and it's just absolutely booming at the minute. Yeah. With this heat wave as well. I mean, coming off the show and having a heat wave like this, it's just really incredible. And I don't know if anyone's seen them TikTok videos of the guy saying that I've basically created this heat wave.
So what's the biggest lesson so far that you've learned since Lord Sugar's involvement as a business partner?
Oh, good one. I think don't be scared to take the next move. You know, don't think about it too much, because you can overthink things. You just got to hire more people and just keep going, because especially with the workload that we've got at the moment, we're after new engineers. We've took on a sales guy. That's something we've never took on before. We didn't know anything about that. So I think at the moment it's just expand, keep going.
Yeah. So personal reflections and advice. So you've inspired a lot of young entrepreneurs, especially those from trade backgrounds. So what advice would you give to someone considering starting or working in their own small to medium business?
Just go for it. Just go for it. Why not? Yeah. You know, that's what I say to everybody. Everyone asks me for advice. Just do it. Just put one step in front of the other and just take that step. Yeah.
So how do you stay grounded and motivated with all the new attention, cameras, opportunities? You know, how do you sort of stay grounded?
Yeah, I think at the moment I'm just taking every opportunity that comes up, and I am just winging it, pretty much. You know, I've never done anything like this before, and I've never done a lot of the stuff that I've done before. But that's what it is. You just got to do it.
Yeah. So with the newfound fame post The Apprentice, how does this impact you on a day-to-day basis, do you think?
I mean, I'm getting stopped for selfies. Yeah. So that's great. It's great. But no, it's good to talk to people as well, because people want to come up to me and they want to talk about the show, which is good. You know, I want to talk about it, and people want to know the behind-the-scenes stuff. So I'm happy to talk about it.
Yeah. So I can imagine it's been a busy time for you recently. So how much of a support has your family and friends been to you this time?
Massive.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, my wife, bless her, she's doing a lot for me and the company at the moment. Alex and his wife, we're just constantly working at the minute. It's actually a joke, but it's got to be done. You know, we can't take our foot off the pedal, so we just got to keep going. And it's fun now.
And your sort of family background, what's your sort of childhood being like, sort of growing up and obviously getting to where you are today?
Yeah, pretty standard, sort of really. I went to a school in Dagenham, barely got any GCSEs. Come out, didn't really know what I wanted to do. Always knew that I thought I'm going to have my own business one day. I just didn't know what it would be. I tried a few things, not all went to plan. And then, sort of fell into air conditioning. I actually wanted to become an electrician. So I applied for this job, and the guy there was like, Dean, why don't you do air conditioning? And I sort of was like, no. And that's where I met Alex. And then we were doing air conditioning together, and then sort of picked it up really quickly. Yeah. And then realised how good I am at it, and just kept going with that. And then eventually me and Alex started our own thing. Yeah.
And finally, what's next for Dean Franklin? Where do you see ADL and yourself going in the the next sort of few years?
Yeah, so I think we're just going to keep expanding, see how far we can go. You know, I want to be like the Pimlico plumbers, that sort of scale, and I can't see why we can't get there, especially with Lord Sugar.
Definitely. So, Dean, look, it's been an absolute pleasure, mate. So congratulations again, and we wish you all the success with ADL and beyond. So if we can give one last round of applause to Dave. Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys.